Hi, I'm Woz from Gwinnett County Public Library and welcome to National Volunteer Week. It's cool to volunteer. In this video, we're going to show you why it's so great to volunteer. And it's not just the beneficiaries that benefit when you volunteer. Here, we're going to demonstrate how you, the volunteer, will also benefit. So let's start. First, what does being a volunteer actually mean? Let's try some definitions to give you an idea. According to lexico.com, it's a person who freely offers to take part in an enterprise or undertake a task. Meanwhile, collinsdictionary.com thinks it's someone who does work without being paid for it because they want to do it. Dictionary.com describes a volunteer as a person who performs a service willingly and without pay. And finally, here's a quote from one of the all-time greats of American tennis and civil rights champion Arthur Ashe, who once said that it is not the urge to surpass all others at whatever cost, but the urge to serve others at whatever cost. So let's ask ourselves, why is it so cool to volunteer? Well, let's start with the job-related reasons. First, it can look great on your resume. In a competitive job market, volunteering experience can be really useful. It shows potential employers that you can take the initiative and that you're willing to give your own time to improve the world for other people. It can give you actual job experience. It gives you the chance to practice common skills needed in the workplace, such as communication, teamwork, and problem solving. And volunteering gives you the opportunity to learn new skills and share them. Suppose you're looking for a change of career direction. Volunteering can be a way to try out a different career option without that long-term commitment. Next, let's look at why this helps the way people see your character. It can improve your outlook on life by opening yourself up to diverse experiences. It can give you a sense of purpose. Because volunteering means choosing to work without receiving monetary compensation, it gives you a chance to address an issue that is meaningful to you, and in turn helps to build a sense of purpose and boost your own happiness. For example, if you love animals, you might fancy helping out at an animal shelter. Next, it can give you a chance to be part of and connect to the community and make it a better place. And yes, even helping out with the smallest tasks can make a big difference. And it allows you to challenge yourself. And this is great because the more you challenge yourself, the better the chance that you'll succeed. And when you succeed, the greater your confidence in your ability to do it again and succeed the next time. Now let's look at why volunteering makes you feel good. It can build your self-confidence and self-esteem. Doing good for others and the community can help you create a sense of accomplishment and a sense of pride and identity, helping to boost your self-confidence further by taking you out of your natural comfort zone and environment. Indeed, volunteering can help you feel better about yourself, which you can then take back to your regular routine, hopefully creating a more positive view of your own life and future goals. And shifting your perspective and moving your attention to someone else's situation can put your own problems into perspective. Having the feeling of making a difference for someone else might also make you feel like you can make positive changes in your own life. And research seems to show that volunteering can have health benefits as well. Depending on what you choose to do, your volunteering might mean you become more physically active and get you out of the house. And it can counteract the effects of stress, depression, loneliness, and anxiety. And the social aspect of helping others can have a big effect on your overall psychological well-being. And it gives you the chance to make new friends and socialize, and that's always good news. And it's a chance to have fun. If you can find volunteering work that's interesting and meaningful, it can provide a relaxing and fun escape from your day-to-day routine of work, school, or family commitments. And of course, finally, any reason to volunteer is a good one. So, great. You've decided you want to volunteer. First, thank you. But then here's the important question. How do you start? Here are some questions you might want to ask yourself first. Let's start with the why, who, where, and how questions. First, ask yourself why you want to volunteer. For example, is it with a purpose to starting or resuming your career? Or maybe to do something about a subject, topic, or situation that you care about? Or maybe more generally, to simply do something in your own spare time to make a difference. Next, ask yourself, who would you like to volunteer with? Do you want to work with, for instance, children, or with animals, or with like-minded adults on a project? Where would you like to volunteer? There are plenty of options here, such as at home, remotely, outdoors, maybe a different part of the country, or maybe even a different part of the world. And then the how question. How much time can you commit or want to commit? And so to the what questions, and there are a few of them. First, what would I enjoy doing? What is it that I would like to do that provides me with those positive reasons to volunteer that we talked about earlier? What skills can I offer? Might they be practical skills like building, or making things with your hands, or cooking? Or how about more office-based skills, such as creating a website for a local group, or record keeping? And then, what causes are the most important to you, or about which you're passionate? The more important the cause, or the more passionate you are, the more motivated you would be to put yourself forward to make a difference. Now we come on to how and where you can volunteer. There are many ways in which you can find this out, but in the time we have available, here are some well-known local and national websites that can give you some helpful suggestions and help you to get started in your search for a voluntary position and how to apply for such positions. And of course, there are many examples of how you can volunteer your time closer to home. Here are just a few of them. And here's what they all have in common. Doing any of these makes a difference. Now we'd like to spend a few moments to emphasize that volunteering provides great opportunities for children. So, parents, why do you think it would be great for children to volunteer and learn to give back to society? Let's start with the all-important character-related reasons. It can teach them an appreciation for what they have. As adults, we get to realize that not everyone is in the same family situation or financial situation or other situation as ourselves. But for children, this can be harder to understand. So if children could volunteer to help those in, say, less favorable situations, they might learn how fortunate they are. Next, it can enhance their world perspective. It can help them learn that the world includes more than just their home or school, and therefore understand why it's important to get involved in the community. It can reaffirm the basic core values such as truth, honesty, integrity, loyalty, and peace. It can inspire giving, because volunteering can show children that they can make a difference without giving money, such as, say, helping at a litter pick. It can also help develop a sense of purpose. When children volunteer to help needy causes, it makes them feel good about themselves and helps them learn how they fit into the big, wide world. It can improve their self-awareness. By trying to make a difference, children can become more aware of their habits. Take our example of a litter pick. Children who have helped at a litter pick might think twice before throwing their litter on the floor. And there's those vital gifts of responsibility and leadership. Virtually any volunteering project involves reaching goals, and to achieve goals requires planning, working as a team, and solving problems. And children can learn vital lifelong lessons from these experiences. And taking part in a hard-working team and seeing the positive results can teach children about the value of possessing a strong work ethic. Next, let's have a look at those crucial life and job skills reasons. It can introduce life skills. When children are exposed to different situations, they can learn many different things, such as listening to directions, respecting peers, taking responsibility for their actions, and team working. It can provide valuable learning experiences for later life. It can encourage balanced lifestyle habits. Sometimes it can be difficult for busy parents to find ways other than through, say, video games or the TV to keep children engaged and entertained. But volunteering can allow children to spend time on something which can help physically, socially, and emotionally, thus allowing their lifestyle to be more balanced. It can increase future job skills. As we said earlier, volunteering provides opportunities to get experience of and practice in skills that will be needed when your children begin their careers. So being exposed to those very situations we just mentioned can only be of great benefit. It can help shape their future. Volunteering can not only help your child make a difference, but can also help both children and their parents know more about what they enjoy doing and can help inform them about the sort of professions that children want to pursue in adult life. It can expose them to new environments and experiences, vanquish their fears of the unknown, and help them learn how to experience situations outside their comfort zones. Next, let's look at those essential good feelings reasons. First, those critical social skills. Parents sometimes worry about their children making friends, but when they volunteer, it opens the possibility for them to be able to engage with like-minded people with similar interests. It can help them understand important stuff about themselves, such as what kind of things they like, enjoy the most, or are best at. It can help them decide what they want to do as they approach adolescence and adulthood. And making a difference can make them feel good about themselves and improve their own self-confidence. And then those vital health reasons. It can benefit their mental health. Study after study has shown that volunteering improves mental health, reduces stress, strengthens the immune system, and increases happiness. These benefits are especially significant for those children today who might be at risk of developing anxiety and depression at younger ages. And it can improve their physical health by encouraging less sedentary lifestyles, which in turn can help reduce the risk of obesity and lead to a healthier life. And finally, as always, any reason to volunteer is a great one. An elementary school can be a key moment in a child's life for character development. So here's just a few pointers to some of the key life skills that elementary schoolers can develop through volunteering, such as impulse control, ethics, and empathy. And children in middle school will be expanding their horizons and finding out who they are. So here's a few more pointers to how middle schoolers can benefit from volunteering. And please check with your child's teacher or counsellor to see if they would qualify to gain additional educational credits for volunteer work. So, parents, you want your child to volunteer. Here are some things to consider before they get started. Decide whether you want to go out with them or prefer to let them do it by themselves. Then don't forget to ask yourself those questions we talked about earlier. And remember that you need to lay out clear hopes and expectations for your children enthusiastically, as children can sometimes mirror their parents' reactions. And here are some examples of ways that children can volunteer, but please make sure to check any age restrictions first with whom your child wishes to volunteer. And if you want to do some reading up on volunteering for children, here are some useful titles which we have in stock at our library branches. Next, we'd like to take a moment to tell you how great it is for retired persons to come forward and volunteer. First, let's give you some great reasons to volunteer in retirement. Let's start with what can make you feel good. It can help bridge the generation gap. By interacting with younger generations, you can share important life lessons, and in return, younger generations can teach seniors new ways of looking at life. And what a great way to make new social connections. After you stop working and the kids have flown the nest, there's a risk of losing some of your social connections. Volunteering can help you meet and make friends with people with similar interests and values. It can help fill up a day. Retirement can be exciting and feel like a new lease of freedom, But this can bring it with a struggle to find things to fill up your time. Volunteering gives you something to look forward to at the start of those long days. And of course, there's a skills-related reason too, because it can help you learn something new. It's a great way to learn a new skill that your previous decades of work and home life never allowed. It's great for your character too. It provides a chance to give back to the community. For example, one of the great things about being of retirement age is the wealth of knowledge built up over the years. Think of the chance to pass on your years of life experience to anyone who wants to, say, pursue a career in the profession that you worked in, or to be a mentor to a young person simply by being around them and teaching them about life. And last but not least, the all-important health reasons. First, it can improve your mental health and cognition. As we get older, the chances of experiencing cognitive and memory loss issues can increase. Volunteering helps you to stay active, use your brain, and reduce those risks. And as we said earlier, it encourages vital physical activity. It can help reduce cholesterol levels, bring down blood pressure, and reduce the likelihood of heart disease, strokes, and other health-related issues. It can also prevent isolation and depression by providing a sense of purpose and accomplishment. And all these benefits taken together can improve the chances of a longer, fulfilling life. And last but not least, any reason to volunteer is fantastic. And here are just a few of the countless examples of ways that retired persons can volunteer. But when you decide that you are interested in volunteering, please remember to ask yourself those all-important questions we talked about earlier. So finally, we have a suggestion for you. Why not volunteer with us at Gwinnett County Public Library? I'm delighted to be joined by Anne Serry, Volunteer Coordinator at the library. Welcome, Anne. So, could you tell our viewers about the ways in which they can help the library as a volunteer and how they can apply to be a volunteer?
Certainly, Waz. Here are some examples of how you can help us as a volunteer at the library. You can help us to maintain and provide access to our physical collections by shelving materials and directing customers. You can help out at one of our many early literacy and children's events. You can help customers at the public computers with some of their basic tasks. You can help customers make and produce things in our exciting learning labs. Or you can help us to provide mentoring to our career online high school students. And teens, you can help too. You can help out with our reading programs and homework assignments. For instance, we have K through 12 students who come in for homework help, and adults help with the teenagers, and teenagers help with the younger ages. Or you can be a reading buddy to help some of our customers learn to read. Teens can also serve on one of our branch teen advisory councils, which gives them a chance to plan and run some of our teen programs. But just a quick note to emphasize that the minimum age to volunteer with the library is 13. Here are some examples of our library volunteers in action. The photograph on the left is one of our Reading Buddy volunteers. In the middle is a gardening volunteer tending to one of our tower gardens. And the photo on the right is 3 of our food distribution volunteers. GCPL is involved in several food distributions around the county, and we rely on the volunteers to be able to serve the community. And here's how to apply to be a volunteer at one of our library branches. First, you go to Gwinnett County Public Library on your computer or device. Next, scroll to the bottom of the website homepage and click on Volunteer. The next page will outline the different ways that you can volunteer. Then scroll to the bottom of that page and click on the Apply button. Fill out the short form where you will be asked some basic questions. On the final page of that form, click the Submit button. A staff member will be in contact with you to arrange an interview. Remember that availability of volunteer positions may vary from branch to branch, but if the branch you want to work at is full, please feel free to try another branch.
That was really helpful. Thank you, Anne. It's amazing the variety of opportunities there are to volunteer at the library. Last, we would like to thank all of these organisations who provided important information which contributed to this video. We appreciate you all very much. Thank you. We hope you enjoyed and learned how wonderful it can be for everybody when we take a little time in our lives to help others by volunteering. In the meantime, thank you for watching and happy volunteering.